Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your full moon reading for the Leo full moon. I know, it's sidereal. I do Vedic because I study yoga. On the 26th of February, the moon itself is in Leo, the sun is in Aquarius. All full moons are oppositions. And this particular one brings us into conflict between local communities, fixed ideas, and our identity within the group and serving with passion. This particular lunation, the full moon, is falling into your third house of everyone familiar. Neighborhood, commute, car, travel, trips, social media, private and personal spiritual practice and study. Hands, shoulders, arms. The third house of neighbors. And it really is the house of commonality, the house of collective, and it's the house that represents Aquarius. And since that's in confrontation with the personal identity sign of Leo, it could be a really interesting time for you to work on the integration of the power and light that you own, the power and light that is within you, and how you want that to serve in the world, how you want to give that out to others. What's your own special message? Okay, one more integration here, and then I'll choose your signifier. And your signifier, my dear, is Rabbit. This is the card of fear. In this moment, you could be feeling fearful. Not the end of the world. Fear, like any other emotion, is temporary. But what this one might be telling you is what we're interested in. You know, maybe you're afraid to bring forth what is within you, within your neighborhood or your community group. This is like negative prayer to me. It's calling in the negative power when we worry, when we're fearful. And really, I mean, how can we worry? We don't know enough to worry. We don't have enough information about what's happening and where we are to be able to effectively be concerned about it. We only have the here and now. And in this moment, if you're feeling fear, go ahead and feel it fully, because that will help it to move past. That's the only thing that emotions need to do, I'm convinced of it, is move through. Anything that we invite to stay too long then becomes a problem. Oh, beautiful. You're covered with Mother Earth. So, you know, there are larger forces at work here. If you are feeling fearful, if you're feeling like it's not going right and it can't ever go right, look to the Earth. She's been here quite a bit longer than we have. And she's gone through some real rocky periods, but she always manages to pull it out in the end. She is the sign of real and true reciprocity. There's always a give and take. Nothing is ever static, and it's very important when we're fearful to keep that in mind. The grounded self-protection that she provides each one of us every single day is extended to you as well, Gemini. Your outward intelligence will help you to perceive and understand this. And perhaps your neighborhood and, you know, the people in your personal and spiritual practice will help support you in this as well. You are crossed by the action card, 37, Antelope, which is the card of I know what I want and I know how to get it. this is kind of don't act, right? Or the lack of action. This is, you're being crossed by, or your problem is either not being able to act or simply not acting. If you are paralyzed in fear at this point, that could be part of what's going on. And being covered by this self-protection of the earth itself, you know, maybe you're in kind of a self-protective crouch right now, Gemini, and maybe you're feeling like you don't know how to move forward and you don't know what the right action is. However, there is a rebirth here. Number 42 is bat, and bat is a ritual end that leads to a new beginning. Whatever this fear may be, whatever has you immobile, if it's an environmental problem, there will be a rebirth. Something will move on. If what is making you fearful is something in your environment, please know that it is temporary. And even though you don't know what to do in this moment, change is coming. Change comes for all. The bat moves between the seen and the unseen and is able to see sounds and is able to see in the dark. So even though you can't right now, there are higher forces at work and they sure can. The foundation card here is Crow, and that is law. Number 24, the Crow card is all about the ability to shape shift. And like I was saying with bat and rebirth, it's the space between two realities. It's between what is and what has not yet come to pass. And Terry Tempest Williams has a great quote, what has not yet come to be will protect me. Looking forward in hope, being able to know that the natural law, the space between realities, the ability to shape shift, to move fluidly is on your side. And if you've ever seen a rabbit move, boy, they sure can. There's something also interesting, this rabbit and the hare thing. The slow and steady wins the race, and the quick and fearful doesn't. So, you know, maybe some breathing exercises. I'll drop some in the show notes for you. But slow, steady progress here that is in accordance with natural law, as you know those to be, whatever they might mean for you. The beaver is the builder of the deck here. He is representing work and achievement. It looks like you're moving away from having built something over a period of time. It could be that you are somewhat afraid of this change, but it really does look like this mysterious change, whatever it could be, that's happening for you, is built upon and is something that you built. So maybe, you know, something that you want is actually coming to pass and you're not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but it looks like there's some magic in it, and you're headed toward a very receptive, balanced, feminine energy. The Otter card is about trust, about sharing. You know, maybe you're thinking that you're going to have to go this alone, but there is a community with you. There is a group to share with. And there's lots of reasons to trust. Trust the earth. Trust the movement that you cannot see. Trust that what has not yet come to be is protective and kind. And I know you don't have any reason to believe that right now. We have all been through the dishwasher, but there is lots of hope still in the world. And I know it because it's in my heart. And it's in my heart for you, Gemini, that you can find a way through your fear and into this beautiful, receptive, balanced state. In this moment, there are messages, or you are the messenger, right? Maybe you have a fearful message that you're sharing, and it's something that you built and understood through research, and you're seeing something come to pass that you don't think is going to go well, but maybe it will. Maybe the message is that not all our fears are true. Not all our worries come to pass. I know that from my own experience. Like, the stuff that I worry about is never the stuff that happens. The stuff that I don't even think about is the stuff that happens. It's always something ridiculously outer limits, something I never even thought was going to be possible. But if I had paid attention to the omens in the moment, and this is what Hawk represents, is where you are right now. There is a message right now. I'm not so proud to think it's necessarily me, but I would love to think that this reading and this transmission could be part of it. Pay attention to what you're seeing and what these images mean to you. What seeing in the dark, what knowing universal law, what understanding what you have built could mean. Excellent. The butterfly. This is a transformation card, and all around you, something is being transformed. Now, we know the progress of the butterfly, right? It goes from egg to, what is it? It's egg to larva to caterpillar to cocoon, and then to butterfly. And in that cocoon, that butterfly is completely dissolved. It's kind of a fearful space. It's kind of, I don't know what to do or how to act. And even upon emergence, there's wings. What does a caterpillar know how to do with wings? But the transformation is so complete and so beautiful, and they're so born into the sun. Trust the process is what I'm getting from that card. And the process is all around you in these omens and in these messages. Don't dismiss them. Excellent. You got the moose card. And the moose is your hopes and fears at this point. Hopes and fears of joy, like wisdom. Being afraid of wisdom and being afraid of joy is not unheard of, right? We always think that we welcome every balanced, wonderful, receptive thing, wide open arms, but stress is embedded in almost everything, whether it's good changes or bad changes. They're all kind of stressful. This is a card of being kind of fearful of your own self-esteem. Do I deserve? Can I actually have? Is this right for me? Am I doing the right thing? All of these doubts and fears may come up, but Moose is telling you there's wisdom here, there's joy here. It's kind of my elder person card, because the kind of wisdom that Moose has is a joyous wisdom. It's being interested and celebratory about its own beauty and its own progress and its own process and what it built. And even if it didn't know what to do, sometimes things just happen that we're all part of, like a larger process, a deeper, darker, sometimes scary place. But once we arrive, it's prayer and abundance. And the buffalo card. This is such a beautiful card and absolutely one of my favorites. It's how can I use my knowledge of myself as spirit for the greatest good. How can I come full circle on what I was trying to build, what I meant to have happen, and seeing that things, kind of got out of my control. This one's completely out of my hands here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have to trust to faith. And when we, take our hands off the wheel like that and consent to be used for the highest good, we can come into this place of sharing. We can come into this place of balance, trust, receptivity. I think that's really what you're moving toward, and I think these beautiful cards are definitely displaying that. The bottom of the deck is the snake card, my favorite. This is transformation through transmutation of poison. So, this last card really ties it up kind of nicely for me, at least conceptually. Snake carries poison. It does. But it also has the ability to make a life out of carrying poison. It can impart a life to a whole clutch of eggs, like you see there in the picture. It makes life out of death. It can also be ritual drug taking. It can be that you are involved with a psychedelic process. Maybe you are scared because you're going to take ayahuasca for the first time, or you're about to go on a spiritual journey of some sort to transmute the poisons and the difficulties of your life that have kept you immobile and turn them into something spiritually meaningful and beautiful that you can share with the collective, because sharing what you love and the joy of giving is the sacred river of humanity. It is what moves us all forward from power struggle and difficulty and lost love into the joy of giving and receiving. I really hope that this had some meaning for you, Gemini. I'm super grateful that I got to do it and I got to see these messages and play with these beautiful, beautiful cards. I'm so hoping that you have a beautiful full moon. Try to get your feet in some salt water if you can, and love on the rivers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please subscribe, share, and do all the things.